Hey, you guys. I know that I am literally 30 minutes late, so I'm very sorry for that. But this is an important topic that I want to discuss. Actually, Joe from Black Male Talk and BMT2, he has covered this story. He suggested that we do it here on this channel, mostly because, strangely, people like to cover all sorts of things that don't matter. Please do click the like as you come in. People on YouTube cover a lot of stories that don't matter, a lot of stories that inflame the senses. But this is a conversation that needs to be had about the, I believe, purposeful um, infection of people with HIV and Hep B. Some of the cities where this is occurring are mostly white, but the demographic that's being served by these particular clinics has a high concentration of Black people, which I think makes it more suspect, especially given that. But I'm going to let Joe take the lead on this because he's the only person I've heard of on YouTube that is actually, at least in our Black sector of YouTube, who is bothering to speak about this, even though this is obviously a very, very important topic. And it's going to get us into a lot of conversations that are food for thought about the level of care we put with the healthcare industry, even though they often weaponize care against us to infect our community, to sterilize our community, to do other things to the people within our community. So, Joe, do you want to let the people know about this? And again, if you guys can click the like as you come in, I would appreciate that.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and shut that one down. Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad that I could be here. Thank you, Irene, for having me. I believe that this is good. I'm trying to spread the awareness of this topic. I wish I wasn't the only one that was pushing for this topic. I believe you have the information. So if you can, you can also put up the information so that way they can also see for themselves. Again, I strongly suggest any of you who are in the New Jersey or pretty much if you are within New England area, New England that consists of New Jersey, New York, Boston, Massachusetts, Philadelphia, also that would Maine. Pretty much, this is a pretty interesting situation that broke down. 3,700 people, and I need to go make sure I can pull it up for you guys also. 3,700 people have been exposed to HIV and hepatitis C within a clinic. I want to make sure I pull it up on my side, so please be patient with me. I believe this is something that we as Black people, we need to be more situationally aware of, for the fact that Black people or minorities in as a whole, we don't get tested as we should. We don't. And for the fact that for those of these people who have been going to clinics and this has happened. Now, I find it interesting. If there had been a school shooting, yeah, I would have made that a nationwide emergency. If it had been something that deals with building a wall, that would have been a nation emergency, government shutdown, nation emergency. Somehow, 3,700 people affected, possibly, but most likely they're infected. Actually, they confirmed that with HIV and hepatitis. That is not an emergency. It's not even big enough to be put on national news. They're not doing mandated screenings. And why is that not happening? Why is that not being shared? Because y'all gotta understand that it's not just a white people's problem. It's a whole demographic as a whole. Y'all forget that at one time, they were testing STDs on you, on us. They were hepatitis C, hepatitis B, syphilis, gonorrhea. A lot of men and women that were incarcerated or slaves or indentured servants, they were testing different ailments on the lower class. If you don't believe me, you can go look it up. But the fact that we're not really trying to talk about this like we should, that's a big issue. That's a really big issue. So I want to break down as hard as I can about the topic as I can, if Irene will allow me to. And if y'all got any questions, please ask. Again, if you are single and you also are, you know, I can't tell your lifestyle, how you, if you're sleeping with whoever you're sleeping with, please, we ask you to go get tested, especially if you're not wearing a condom. New Jersey Surgery Center, that possibly exposed thousands to HIV and rusty equipment, says to let us be in the dark. Actually, this has been going on for a whole year. I want you to think about that. This has been going on for a whole year.
Can I get the name of the center? It's the center's name is Health Plus Surgery Center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
For those of you in the New Jersey area, so that you know.
In Saddlebrook, New Jersey. So y'all need to know the exact location. 3,700 patients at the time. The number actually went up from 3,700 to 38 to is possibly over 4,000. The number is still climbing that they're finding out. And this is a big problem, especially for the Black community, because sexuality is heavily pushed in our community, especially with down low people and promiscuous people. Now, you do what you do, but I want you to understand that this is a big run to risk. Mind you, this is not something that was done by drugs. This is not something that was done through like some kind of government. No, this was done people going to a surgery and they got infected. And we got to take notice of this because this has been going on for a whole year. They had multiple violations. Sanitation equipment, according to the sanitation summary sheet made public on Friday, state allowed Health Plus Surgery to reopen. They were only closed for 21 days, even after they failed. Mind you, normally that building should have been shut down. And they should have done investigation on everyone in the staff.
I'm going to tell you what's suspect to me is this city, this area of New Jersey is almost all white. But the people who use this facility are predominantly non-white.
Ooh, Black. Good call. Good call.
That is what is suspect to me. That is what makes me give this whole situation the side eye.
That is very true. That is very true. That is very true. The facility is definitely in a white predominant area. However, the majority of the people and partakers of the facility are minorities. The place was only closed for 21 days. But before Health Plus was cleared to reopen, it was forced to correct a number of violations, including improper storage of medication issues. So in other words, people were getting proper medication with personal requirements. Failure to adequately sterilize equipment for a lot of you women who get vaginal checks. Y'all know how dangerous that is. That went on. The citation sheet described sterilized instruments as containing rust-like stains. These are used for surgery. Staff told the Department of Health surveyor that if the rust is visible, a nurse would make the decision as to whether or not it should be used in a procedure, according to the report. Now, I want you to think about that. If you see rust on just a spoon, would you still use it and put it in your mouth? Now, I'm not sure if any of y'all ever tasted rust. It tastes horrible. It's very infectious. Hell, you get so much rust in your water, it makes you sick. Yet this stuff is being used in delicate procedures. The report also detailed medical staff who failed to cover their beards or facial hair during procedures. Wow. Another violation noted a stretcher reserved to transport a patient containing a red wet stain, which was improperly cleaned, even after the surveyor asked if it would be changed. So they were requesting for that to be changed by the surveyor, and they did not change it still. Since the discovery of the improper sterilization procedures, Health Plus has fired, guess what? 2 employees. Only 2. According to the facility's attorney, Mark Manigan. Leading consultants to provide procedures, overhaul, and to train staff, both existing and new. So they kept the staff. They only fired 2 people. Were immediately engaged, and we were confident that the issue raised by the department have been addressed. Manigan said a press conference on Saturday. Since the violations were discovered, Health Plus said it hired new staff members, improved infection control, and conducted training for its new sterile processing staff, and cleaned and repaired all medical equipment. Earlier this month, patients who were sent at the facility between January the 1st. Now, mind you, earlier this month, patients who were sent at the facility between January 1st and September the 7th may have been affected. Their time at the surgery center were contacted by Health Plus by a letter. You know how long it takes to get a damn letter? That's 3 days. Let me let you know this right now. For them to counteract and actually get to quarantine the HIV virus, if exposed, you have 48 hours.
Mind you, it was HIV and hepatitis. It was both things.
Both.
And we're talking about direct impact, right?
Yes.
Joe is speaking of direct impact, those almost 4,000 people. What about the people that they have sex with?
Yes.
What about those who aren't married and are promiscuous?
Yes.
This is a bigger issue than just those 4,000 people. What if some of those mothers were breastfeeding?
Correct. There's no way you can contain this properly. There is no way. They distinctly knew what these people were infected and afflicted to. A letter takes 2 to 3 days. You have about 48 hours to quarantine the HIV virus. That's if you know that what you're treating. It takes about 14 hours to check and do a blood test by the CDC. Do you understand the flaws in this? Do you understand the gravity of this? How many people went home and had sex? How many people breastfed, kissed somebody, did something with bodily fluid? Do you understand? You breastfed your child. You shared something with a buddy. You went to work and probably got a cut. And you let that blood get onto something. You didn't think nothing of it. Are y'all not? I want y'all to fully try to grasp this, how bad this is. I'm already out of the game. I'm out. Me and Irene, we're married. If y'all want to feel better, I want you to know, I went just to show you just how serious I can run to the car. I can pull out. I did go to the doctor just to show the people how serious I was to go get checked. The medication to deal with HIV, the good medication, and I paid for it before. It runs you about $1,600. How many of those people do you think have $1,600 on hand? And that's just for one vial. That doesn't include the other 3 vials you're supposed to take. That doesn't include the shot. I'll pass it over to Irene. I think she understands just how big this story is. Thank you, Irene, for doing the story with me.
No, not at all. Like I said, Joe did this story on his channel, but he felt so strongly about it. He wanted to do it here too. And I encourage more of us to speak about this. There's a lot of stupid stuff we speak about. YouTube beefs go viral. But what needs to go viral is the fact that in a community that is, I think, 98%, upwards of 98% white, there was a facility that was treating non-white people in mass. Mind you, it's already a small population of people who aren't white. Our people are in this facility being infected with HIV and hepatitis for a year. And this is not an isolated incident. Now, they can say it, went under the radar, they've improved conditions and whatever. I think that this was intentional. That is just too much of a coincidence for me. The sanitation practices there were disgusting. It was noted. They were not corrected. They were not shut down. If we want something to go viral, let this go viral. These are exactly the opportunities and the things that we should be speaking out about loudly. Too many stupid stuff in our community gets praised. You get 30 videos, 500 videos on Zaza Ali, 500 videos about Michi, thousands of videos hating on Cynthia, trillions of videos about whether white women or black women are better. But we are going to overlook 4,000 people in one facility. This isn't even taking into account the other places. In just one facility that were purposefully infected with HIV and hepatitis. As we promote promiscuity in the Black community, these are people that are having sex with people in our community. Twin brought up something. How many of these people donated blood after they got their, you know what I mean? After they got tested, after they went to that facility for treatment or testing? How many of them breastfed? How many of them are married? How many of them left the state or the area?
Irene, could you do me a favor? Could you pull up a map of the Northeast?
Yeah.
I used to live up north. I believe Irene lived up. Have you lived up in the Northeast also?
Not in the Northeast. You want me to pull up a map of New Jersey?
New Jersey in the Northeast area. And for some of y'all, I want to show y'all just how crazy this is. But I lived in Massachusetts. I lived in Springfield, Massachusetts, and New London, Connecticut, and Norwich. Most people who live in New Jersey and most of the New England area, they transfer and transition in and out of state every day. I don't want y'all to think this is just a New Jersey problem. Okay? I want you to understand. It only takes about 1 hour to get into another state, especially when you go to work. What happens if you have a girlfriend and she lives in Connecticut? Let's say that girlfriend has a cut in her mouth. Now, you are one of those patients. You had sex with your girlfriend. You ejaculated in her, or you know, something happened and, your saliva or your fluids transferred to her. She has a child. That child goes to school, gets cut, gets into a fight. That child shares something with another child, but they're infected with the same virus.
I want to point to what Joe is wanting you guys to understand is this is New Jersey, centrally located by Washington, D.C.
Yep.
Pennsylvania, New York.
Yep.
The most eastern tip of New York, Connecticut. Yep. This isn't a small amount of people. There are towns that are smaller than 4,000. That's the size of a small town. Just imagine a whole town being infected with Hep and HIV. Just roaming free for a year.
Are you sharing? Okay,
yeah, I'm sharing that.
Okay. Now, again, New Jersey, for me to get from Springfield to from Springfield to New Jersey, that's only a 2-hour drive. When I was running around and doing foolishness, that was a booty call at night. If I wanted it bad enough, go there, kick it at a party, have some drinks, hang out with a female. I'm back in Springfield. I go back to work in Connecticut. That's 45-minute drive. Then back from there, I go meet up with my friends at the brewery in Rhode Island. I do all this in 1 week. In 1 week, $45 of gas. How much do you think will get spread in the Northeast? How many of these people do drugs, sex? How many people? Why is it that the nation has not talked about this? You'll talk about a school shooting. You'll talk about a boy being shot by the police. You'll talk about everything else to a girl getting in a fight at McDonald's. But you telling me that 4,000 people that are possibly infected with HIV and hepatitis B and C, this is not an emergency? This is not an emergency? I mean, just let me know, Irene, if this is crazy. I believe if you heard, hey, 100 people are infected with HIV and they just got released into the populace, would you not want to know who those people are or not want to know about this situation more?
I mean, I would want to know about it, but I just want to, I cannot express this enough because the first thing I did was when I saw it was in New Jersey, I was like, oh, what's the Black demographic? So I looked up the Black demographic.
Oh, it's not really.
When I found out that it was mostly white, and then I was like, well, where's the clinic located? Who's using the clinic? And I saw it wasn't a bunch of white people.
Yep.
I was pretty angry. Now I'm like, this doesn't seem like some sort of an accident to me. It doesn't seem like their health bill was trash and they just were allowed to get away with it. If you go to the link that I posted, and I will post the link again if I can, these are Black women sitting up there crying and snotting up, talking about they feel violated. And this is not on the news because nobody cares. This is not on the news because it's 4,000 people running around spreading disease throughout the Black community, not because of anything they did wrong, but because they went to a health facility that was trash. I mean, I can't even understand how that could go unchecked for so long. If for those of you who weren't here earlier, Joe said that there was one of the little gurney beds with a wet red substance that they were transporting patients on, rust in the equipment, and that this was a known thing.
How easy it is to get an infection in your vagina.
Extremely easy.
Imagine somebody using rusty equipment to check you or your daughter when y'all just go there for a simple checkup. Not properly cleaned, not sterilized. Imagine that. But you never knew. You never knew.
It's disgusting. This is really disgusting. This is the kind of stuff we should be out. I'm telling y'all, we waste time with the shenanigans. Let this go viral. Let there be an outcry about this.
No, but see, here's the thing that's crazy about this, Irene. This video, you already got 5 dislikes about something that is this important. Mind you, you're the second person in all of the Black YouTube to talk about this. You're the only second person. Nobody gave a shit to talk about this. I want y'all to understand. I want y'all to look it up. Who do you think is the biggest minority or biggest ethnicity with HIV? It's us. It's us. When I went to the VA, 2 female doctors, one Latina, one white, came in there, and that's how serious. When they talk to you about HIV, they go in as a buddy team, because the mental shock of you possibly having to hear or having to deal with learning about those type of statistics, a lot of people don't deal too well. 2 things happen: they mentally break, or they understand that this is it for me. I can no longer be normal. I can no longer be normal. I can no longer have a normal life. And they can try to tell you that bullshit. Oh, yes, you can live a normal life with HIV. No, you can't. You have to be mindful. Anybody you come in contact with, just go up to them and say, I have HIV. Do you still want to deal with me? Come on now. We're not even properly educated when it comes to doggone health and sexuality. You think we're properly educated with HIV and AIDS? Mind you, those are two different things. A lot of people didn't know that. Mind you, as much shit as y'all as we like to report on black fuckery, but we ain't gonna talk about this shit. Niggas will gladly thumbs down a black woman who actually is trying to say, hey, I don't give a fuck if y'all don't fuck with me. I put this on Irene's channel, but I want this to be known. I don't give a shit who pushes it. I don't give a damn if George pushes it. I don't give a damn if Irene pushes it, Cynthia G, Tommy. I don't care who pushes it. We need to talk about this shit. Our people are being wiped out genetically now. You want to know who owns the facility? It's not the government. It's the millionaire. The same clinic that these people, when they shut down this clinic, guess where they were being sent to? The other clinic that he owns. They send you from one of his clinics to the other clinic to go get treatment. Mind you, he bought both of those clinics. You want to know what he specializes in? Selling real estate and property. He knows nothing about the medical field. He knows nothing about human life. You don't believe me? I can show you. I can give Irene information. Most of the brothers who came to my channel, when they saw this shit, they were freaking the fuck out. You know why? But some of the brothers, they live in New Jersey. And they're like, why was this not on the news?
I just want to point out that they push heavy promiscuity in our community. And then at the same time are literally pumping disease into our people. And then they tell you to go off and have sex like your animals.
Facts.
Let us give you these diseases. And now, black people, go forth and fuck each other like your animals. We do their work for them. And we need to get the word out about this. The same way we like to get gossip out, the same way we like to advertise a beef, we need to get the word out so people can protect themselves against those who would see us destroyed, so that people can protect themselves as they're moving about in the world, because you don't know if a person is infected, because these people are going for treatment and testing and coming out with a disease. And we cannot begin to, like Joe said, New Jersey is central. It is a central location. It's near DC with a high population of black people. This went on for a year, and this is not the only place that this happened. And we need to be on this as a people. Hi, George.
What's up, George? You want to know also one of the biggest issues that goes on in DC, Baltimore, and other areas? Crack, heroin, different drugs that have to involve deal with your blood. Just think about that. I just want y'all to really understand. I'm not doing this for the views. I want my people to be safe. I don't want to have to go to a clinic y'all don't understand. Just if Irene pulled y'all up the stats right now, just how bad HIV is in the black community, y'all motherfuckers y'all might be wearing some goddamn Ziploc bags. 45% of US Americans do not get tested for HIV in their lifetime. How many black men go get checked for colon cancer? You think they're going to go get checked for HIV?
44% of HIV cases in this country are our people.
44?
Even though we are only 13% of the population.
But the 44% is what? Is who?
Our people.
Okay, then. All right. I just want y'all to sit that in y'all mindset for some of y'all. Just let that sit in y'all mindset.
You're a little low, George.
I'm low. Oh shit! You know what? My mic. I'm sorry.
But hold on. But we talk about it's cool to be gay. Hey, do you? I ain't got nothing against y'all. Mind you, rectum sex is the fastest way to get these diseases.
Well,
Rectum
I have something
sex.
against it.
No. I'm telling you, this is being now pushed out now to do more different types of sexual activity. Hey, why not have threesomes? Why not have orgies? Why not just live the best of your life? Why wear condoms? Why go get tested? We have more videos talking about fucking than goddamn talking about going to get tested. And George can tell you.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Now, I wanted to ask you real quick because I report a lot of this stuff. Like whenever I say I do a live stream on this, I haven't heard of it. Where was it at in Jersey?
This was done in hang on. This was done in Saddlebrook, New Jersey. Saddlebrook is that's like central.
Yeah, the facility was called Health Plus Surgery Center, and there was a location in New York as well.
Wow, and they said 4,000 black women was diagnosed with HIV.
No, not it's well, it's up to 4,000 now. Last time I checked,
the number 778 is the last count I saw.
It actually it's higher than that. I had two different feeds, and then after that, I believe Nicole from Nikki Uncensored, she sent me another feed of the owner of the facility. Yeah, it's a lot. It's like a high, like it's worse than what it is.
So how long was what was this? Was they was doing these testings over a period of time, or this just came as an outburst? Like
no, this been going on for a year,
for like a year now. Wow, and they haven't been, and they wasn't reporting it.
Well, they found out
giving it to people.
They found out.
They gave it to people.
They found out by. They found out by what day? I'll show you how bad it was. To let us be dark from January up to the holidays. Now the holidays is what? December. So that means they just found out this story by December. The news just now found out and reported this by December. That means they had a whole year for this to happen.
Wow,
it's too late. It's too late for some people.
Well, in cities, especially on the East Coast, where we're all clustered in together, like Philadelphia, being the main opioid and heroin spot, damn near on the East Coast. The HIV thing has been going on for a long time, and they haven't really been reporting it. They'll give you videos on the opioid problem or the heroin problem, but they don't really talk about the sharing of the needles and the diseases that's coming behind that. When you're dealing with the HIV and the syphilis and all the different things that's going on here just in my city alone. So I can see them not actually reporting it. But these are the things that when I'm going off and people say, oh, George is always so emotional, he always so angry. But this is why I'm always so fucking angry.
I mean, honestly, I talked about it on my channel. It was me, Man of Tomorrow, Charity the Great. When other black YouTubers were finding out about this, they didn't know how to take it.
Right.
And some of the people, and Fran Antonio was there, and some other black males in the chat, they were like, whoa, a lot of us in our families live in the Northeast. We didn't see this stuff. Because when you start taking down the shutters and actually start seeing these things out there, it hurts. Because you're like, nobody told me. And I've been living carefree.
Back up, Thomas.
I want you to think about that. How many people have you come into contact with that you possibly know that live in Jersey, that travel to Jersey every day for you, George, and possibly don't even know?
Yeah, but see, and that's what I'm saying. Like, the thing is, I don't even have to go to Jersey. I'm in Philadelphia.
Correct. You already know it's a hop and a skip to jump from Jersey, but I lived up north too. So when I say that 4,000 people, you know how much ground 4,000 people can cover?
And that's what I'm saying. Like what I'm saying is I live in Philadelphia, where you have Philadelphia is the number one opioid ground zero for the opioids and heroin. So I mean, we literally got zombie lands walking around where to the point where they stopped giving out needles. Yeah. So like, you know, what I'm saying is they put out in front the drug part, but they don't put out the all the other diseases that come behind that. What I wanted to ask you though, you guys were saying that the actual hospital was giving out the disease.
Yes.
Can you explain that again? Because I came in late. Because I was asked my wife if she heard about it, and she didn't either.
Irene, you want to talk on it? You want me to keep on pushing on it?
Yeah, I'm here. It's up to you. I will go ahead. I'll go ahead and I will just go ahead and say this. Between January 1st and September of last year, almost 4,000 people were exposed to HIV and hepatitis B and hepatitis C. They were coming to these clinics in New Jersey and New York. We don't know. It could be more. I wouldn't be surprised. And around Christmas time, they started receiving certified letters letting them know that there had been lapses in the infection control and sterilization and cleaning of the instruments of those facilities and of the injection medications that they had been giving the people. So they were sticking dirty needles in these.
Wow. So this is even different from just the people in the street that's on drugs, misbehaving or not practicing safe. This is the actual hospital doing this to the people. And
these are people, yes, responsible people going in and coming out with diseases. Yes.
And this is why I say we got no friends, and why I'm always so angry and trying to bring our people together. Because this shit is, you mean to tell me that you didn't have educated people in there that wasn't aware of what they was doing to our people?
Actually, and I actually talked about that. Irene, what did they say about the medical team when they would see rust stains and different other stuff on the equipment? What did they do with that?
Yeah, they did nothing. The thing is that it's not like nobody knew about what was going on. People knew. It was clear that they just were using it anyway. They were proceeding on. I mean, he talked about earlier, you know, the gurneys that they were moving people on would have wet red spots on them, and they would still put people on them. The needles were dirty. The machines and the things were rusted out.
Where was the State Department, or like, you know, the state that comes out and do their inspections and inspect these things? Like, where were they at during this ordeal?
I think they were violated. Joe, weren't they violated? But the thing is,
they violated them. They shut them down for 21 days, and they reopened it back up.
They didn't do a cleanup.
The hospital didn't really do a cleanup. They just kept on going. So you know how many people? You want to know how many people got fired, George? How many people you think got fired from there? Just take a guess. Out of a hospital.
Probably 2, and 2 of them was black.
That was it. 2. Just 2.
And they were black, right? Or one black, one Puerto
Rican. We don't know that, but we just know 2 people got fired. They didn't give a name. Now, mind you, I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you how this worked. Kanye West's mother died on the surgery bed. How the fuck do we know everything about that doctor within 24 hours?
Right.
Now, that's just a surgery for breast implants. Michael Jackson's doctor gave him medication. We know everything about him. Mind you, these are 2 black doctors. A whole hospital, a whole clinic infects 4,000 people with this. Hepatitis B and C, and HIV. I want you to understand this. When you get this shit, if they don't catch it, that's it.
I didn't see this on the news at all, man.
Okay, I want you to understand. That's it. Once you get this shit, that's game over.
Dion said they have tested some people, and not everybody is infected. That's not the point.
Right. That's not the point at all. The point is the negligence. The point of it is the negligence within the hospital for them to even be putting people's lives at risk like that. Listen, they put all these black women at risk.
Black women, black men. It's straight. It's bad all across the board.
Yeah, I thought so. Black men got affected too.
Yeah, it's a surgery place.
Okay,
you go there all together.
Okay, y'all wasn't sure.
Nobody goes in there. Nobody thinks that they're going into a clinic. And the thing about it, first of all, I'm gonna just say for y'all, just because the hospital telling you, oh, we tested some people and they came back positive, I'm not gonna trust those motherfuckers with their story anymore. The fuck? You had a whole year. You didn't give a fuck about me. So why am I going to trust you now for you to tell me the truth after a goddamn year that, guess what? Y'all been infecting people with hepatitis B and C and HIV. You think I'm oh, yes, I'll show up for my appointment next year. No.
I like to see the investigation of how many times they was reported by employees or just people that came there. That's what I like to see over the last year or 2 years or so. Once they begin to do the investigation and the state did nothing about it. That's what I want to see.
See, that's the thing about it. This is okay. This is the most quiet story. Now, mind you, there have been other outbreaks. Again, I had to go play through on my video. There's another one in Missouri, a VA clinic that infected 1,200 VA veterans with HIV. That was just HIV.
Yeah, right.
I know there's one in Tennessee. There have been different outbreaks in different areas, but this is one of the biggest ones. Now, it's amazing. White school gets shot up. You know, I'm just not trying to be making it about color. White school gets shot up. Few 12 or 20 kids die.
No, make it about color. Make it about color. You should. Don't be afraid. Don't be ashamed.
Let's. I'm gonna let you hit that, George. I'm just wanted to show it. I know you. Like, oh, B&T. You know, I'm gonna jump on that shit. I'm just saying, school gets shot up. Nationwide epidemic. HIV outbreak and hepatitis B and C. Not that big of a deal. Some people survive. Some people don't even have it. It's not that big of a deal. I'm like, wait, hold up. School shooting.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
I don't know which one is more disastrous to the nation. I
had no idea. I had no idea that this story even. Now I'm gonna look it up. I got to actually do a show on this now. I got to do my homework on it because I didn't know. Because I damn sure would have been all, I'd have been all over this.
I gave Irene all the stuff. You can go look it up. You can go do the research. Actually, I think I got I can throw it in the Google Hangout.
I hear you.
I can throw it in the Google Hangout. The owner is a multimillionaire. Now it's funny, you can put Mark Zuckerberg, a billionaire, in front of the state for goddamn Facebook, but you're telling me the dude who owns a goddamn clinic that's been pushing out HIV, this motherfucker don't go before the damn judge? Y'all can go after R. Kelly and make a whole goddamn documentary and shit, but y'all can't make no shit about this motherfucker? We don't even know what he looks like. I'm just saying, man, like, pick and choose your struggle.
Yeah, we need names and photos. Y'all
ain't no photo, you know what I'm saying, Irene?
I'm just saying we like to press up on each other for every little thing.
You're damn right.
The black person, we need to start digging for names and photos of the person that owns the facility, and learn how to who we need to hold accountable, who we need to press on each other. But this is what Joe and I were talking about yesterday. Flex your muscles in the right place. And Ectothermal Puppy said, why is it about color and not about humanity? I'm gonna tell you why it's about color. Because in the area where this happened, it is almost 98% white. But where these people were getting infected, it wasn't crawling with white people. The little crying.
One guy, Irene, we can't hear you. I think you muted the show.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said that Ectothermal Puppy said, why is this about color and not about humanity? And I said to that, the area where this happened is like 98% white or something like that. But the clinic where these people are being serviced is not crawling with white people.
One person asked me, isn't this the same guy? Isn't this the same guy that says the black man don't owe the black community nothing? I want you to know this is the same guy that was the only one who pushed out this story about HIV for the black community. Notice
this. Notice how you will literally be in the chat and attack a black man, but you're not trying to Google and figure out who the hell the white person is or Jewish person is that owns the facility. Make that make sense.
It's more important to jump on me about this shit. It's more important. Mind you, George is like, yo, this guy's the only one. It's Irene, mind you, They didn't mind giving you goddamn 5 dislikes. Before you even started the goddamn show, you had 2 dislikes. I don't know. Y'all, listen, man. See, this is why I be telling Irene sometimes I don't know. Really, do they like it more so when we talk shit and say fuck the black community? I bet you if I were to do shit for white people and talk about shit that happened to white people, they'll be all over that shit. They probably have a petition already done. I talk about this shit for black people. Niggas don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They will go on. Hell, they're gonna probably hit up some bitch in goddamn New Jersey and say fuck it. I don't give a fuck. That's not.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can hear you, George.
Yeah, something was wrong with my. Hey, you know what, man? When them jokers come in here and talk that trash that is not about color, man. I'm just gonna say this, and I'm gonna stay super calm and just my kids sitting next to me. It's Friday. We got to stop being afraid to stand on our own convictions and our own and be proud of and prideful. Jews, I keep telling y'all, Jews got the never again, and they stand on that shit. You say anything, you do anything to them, man, they gonna whack your ass, man, politically, economically, in every aspect. We keep allowing things to happen to us. We keep saying it's not about color. Humanity, fuck all that, and fuck your humanity. We ain't got no goddamn friends in this country, and don't nobody fuck with us. The only people we got is us, and if we don't get some type of black pride and some type of love towards each other and begin to stand on this shit, a lot of our people may say fuck the black community at times. Man, that's coming from emotion. That don't mean they hate black people or hate their people. If this man hated his people, you think he would have reported this story? Like, we got to stop being stupid. Like, and we got to stand for something, man. Like that. Listen, we got all kinds of shit going on that I've been reporting. Little girls getting shot in the car. They kicking 1-year-old babies in the back. You got they putting the HIV. Like, now you got this HIV story. This shit is happening to black people. Fuck your humanity. We got to start standing up for ourselves, man. What's happened to us in this country for generations, it stands. And if the Jews can have another again, and anything you say about them is anti-Semitic, anything you do to me is anti-being black, and it's hurting my so-called civil rights. And we got to stand on that and empower ourselves with it. I mean, I'm sick of this shit, man.
George, I'm gonna ask a question, George. Did you hear ABL talk about this story? I'm just asking.
No, I didn't even, bro. I'm telling you, I didn't hear about it at all.
I'm gonna show you something. Had this happened in the Jewish community, do you think this would have been blown up?
If this would happen in the Jewish community, people be in prison right now.
If this had happened in the if this happened to the LGBT community, that they had put this in their damn cookies at a damn bakery, you think this shit would have blown up?
They would be in prison. And I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
Now I just want to show something now. Mind you, me and George do not always agree. I want y'all to get that. I am the only one at the time, and I'm trying not to cry because the thing about it, I'm out of the game, man. I don't have to worry about this shit. I do somewhat because my children have to live in this world. I want you to understand. Listen, I don't always agree, but at the end of the day, I am still a black man. I will die a black man. I was born a black man, and I live my life one day at a time as a fucking black man.
Right, and that's the whole point, bro. That's my whole content. That's everything that I'm speaking about. I know that black people is broken off into different subgroups, and we see the world differently. But one thing that I do know, and I keep telling my people, these other groups see us all as niggas, and they treat us that way. Yeah, they might smile at you, give you a job, pat you on the back, and all that, man. Let me tell you something, man. This thing is about power and economics, man. And the thing is, if we don't stand on something, like when you asked, if this was at a Jewish facility, somebody would be in prison already. Heads would be rolling. This was the LGBT. They wouldn't be, and guess what? The Jews wouldn't be talking about no humanity and love everybody. No, they would be saying, fuck your humanity. And I'm telling black people this: if the Jews can say another again, then we can bring up, if you're standing outside and you're talking about what happened to us historically, don't ever let nobody tell you that was a long time ago. That's equivalent to being anti-Semitic. Don't tell me about my people and what's happened to us, and we still got stories going on now. You stand on that shit and you stand proud, and you use that to empower you and push you forward like every other group do. We keep allowing people to come around us and saying, what about humanity? Get them away from you. Get them away from you, man.
The thing about it is this, and I said this, the reason why I say, listen, it's getting hard for me as a black man. I was never taught as a boy to put black first. I'm gonna do a talk about that one day.
Right.
Let's be for real.
Nah,
Black children are never taught to put
right.
black first. Black men are never taught to put black first. Black women are never taught to put black first. You see, whenever it comes to something, it's always about what about this group? What about these people? What about this community? But see, when your ass is laying there on that goddamn stretcher and they throw you that goddamn hospital bill for a goddamn clinic that fucked you up, I want you to say that humanity bullshit speech too. Because at the end of the day, they're going to say, Negro, guess what? Can you afford this goddamn bill? I didn't ask you about the other nigga. I asked you, can you afford this shit? Yes, they fucked you up. Guess what? You gotta understand. This is a system. Listen, in some places, some villages, they would literally have just burned this shit down and call it a day in some isolated areas. There is nowhere for you to go. If you I want you to understand, if you have certain diseases, you cannot leave. If you are contained with certain shit, you can't live your life like normal. Do you know how bad that will shut you out?
I agree, man. Let me just say this real quick, because like something you said, like a lot of us wasn't taught to be black first. The only thing I would tell my people, because I grew up in a house where I was taught to be black first from the door, all black. And I know that a lot of times a lot of our people, we fight back and forth, but I'm telling my people, a lot of us wasn't taught that, but as you begin to look around, you notice that all other ethnic groups practice that group first. They live in an integrated society, but Latinos practice Latino first. Jews practice Jews first. Different demographics of whites practice whites first. Black people are the only ones talking that humanity shit and share with everybody, join everybody else's movements, and we get nothing out of it, and we get the shitty end of the stick all the time. And this is why I get a lot of vitriol from my own people, because the only thing I'm trying to do is love black people enough to tell them the truth and bring us together, man. I ain't telling you to hate other groups. I'm just telling you to love. I'm just telling us to love each other, so we can fight to stop this stuff from happening. That's the only thing I'm telling. Listen, I always tell people I'm for black marriage, but everybody ain't gonna be just married to black women or black men. That don't mean I hate you as a black person. I just want black people to have a code like other groups do, and we don't. And we don't. That's why these things happen, Joe, where shit happens and you don't see blacks coming out in large numbers, but then you see a movement for other groups and you see blacks supporting those groups, but we won't support our own.
Like I said, man.
But George, Joe.
What's up?
You know what, George? You speaking like that? You a simp. Me telling black men to respect our women, respect ourselves, take care of our children, protect our women, build together.
Yep.
I'm a simp. We preaching inclusion, but we simping.
Right. That's what happens, man. That's what happens.
This right here with Joe and Irene are going over right now should be an absolute wake-up call to every black person.
Yep.
We need to build. Why the fuck are we using anybody else's facilities? Why aren't we opening our own? Like on some real, I'm with Joe, man. I'm almost out the game. I got my kids, but I gotta leave. How many times you heard me say this, George? I gotta leave my kids this shit, man. You gotta leave your kids this shit, your grandbabies this shit.
They inheriting dysfunction. All we're leaving them is inherited dysfunction, man. That's all we're
talking about humanity. That's an individualistic thought that came out in that chat room, and we need to stop thinking on the individualistic level. It is time to start thinking on a collective level, because if we don't, we are all finished, man.
Yep. And that's my whole mission. Now, listen, I salute Joe for bringing this out. And a lot of times people say, well, no, them people don't care about black people. Yes, they do. People like Joe and them, they family is black. Their friends are black. We all listen, we all may be hurt or angry at some of the things that happen in our community, but regardless of what we say out our mouths at times, we love black people in the black community, man. And the shit hurts. And a lot of us are in pain, man. And my thing is, listen, I gotta research more of this story. I'm gonna go in depth on it. I'm gonna come out, I'm gonna do a video on it, because had I would have known, I'm glad I looked on YouTube and I seen it, man. And look, Joe, thank you. Thank you, because I didn't know, man. You know what I mean? This shit just, I don't know, man. It's scary, man. The stuff that's going on, and we're continually being. And then we got Black YouTube now, so we have the ability to get the word out across the world. If we're using Black YouTube for what we should be using it for, to get the positive information out to our people, man, and not this fucking dysfunction that we show. So yeah, like, man, we gotta do something, man. You there, Irene?
This might be my first live stream that I ever do, George. It might be on this subject, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. I really want to encourage people to cover this story, recognize it's just not New Jersey and New York. This is happening throughout. I think this is especially significant, and it really points to our community because in an area where almost everybody is white, the small number of Black people there are heavily affected by this, and realize that the impact, and I just want to reiterate this, the impact of these disgusting facilities, sticking dirty needles in people, using filthy equipment on people, exposing people to hepatitis B, C, and HIV, that exposure, it moves outside of the 4,000 people in these one cases.
Exactly.
It moves past them. It goes to the children they interact with. It goes to any blood that they donated, which is something Twin pointed out. It goes to if some of them are on drugs and share needles. It goes to those who are promiscuous in our community, having sex with people. It's been going on for a year. These people have just been walking around. And there should be outrage. And I really, really hope in our community, I was so disappointed with the conversation about, is this a human issue and not a Black issue? And also we are so good at coming for each other, but we need to find out who owns these facilities, get names, get pictures and faces, make videos about this, put this on your social media, forget the girl that's twerking, forget the latest beef, and let's press on this because the media is not covering this for us. Right. They could care less.
Yeah, I hope it's a wake-up call, Irene. I hope it's a wake-up call. Because this is all I'll be pushing on YouTube is, listen, like, if all your content is just going after Black men and going after Black women, then you actually side with what the white supremacy that we complaining about. We got to keep our shit in-house. And we got to deal with, I still keep saying, I challenge any Black YouTubers. I challenge 2019, January 4th. Show me some panel discussions where you see Latinos, Asians, Arabs, or different groups just totally, blatantly, outright, just belligerently disrespecting each other. Show it to me. I'm waiting to see it. They don't air out their dirty laundry to the world. Only we do. We got to stop this shit. We got to protect each other. We got to protect each other. Whatever issues I might have with Irene ain't for the world. That's something that I can go on a Google Hangout or a back chat or something and deal with. We got to stop showing how vulnerable we are, man. And get out of that humanity shit. You got to be Black. Being Black first. Let me just say this, man. Being Black first don't mean that you hate everybody else. The Latinos is Latino first, and some of them still be your homie. The Jew is Jewish first. Go into their communities. They don't really rock with you like that. All other groups are pro their group first. It's nothing wrong with being pro-Black. Being pro-Black is good. And I guarantee if you practice being more pro-Black, a lot of this stuff will start to die down over. And we'll create a generation to pass something down positive to our children. There's nothing wrong with being Black first.
They have a code, George. They have a code. They stick to that code. They advocate for their issues. People mad at the immigrants. You know why I'm not mad at the immigrants, George? Because you know what the immigrants do? They go on one code, they on one accord, they advocate for their issue, and now their issue is mainstream. The entire government is shut down over immigration right now.
Mm-hmm. And guess who be marching for them and with them? African Americans.
Exactly.
Supporting them, and nobody give a fuck about us.
People mad about Barack Obama legalizing gay marriage. I'm not mad at gay people. You know why? Because they advocated for their issue. Yeah. They didn't have a bunch of naysayers sitting here saying you want a handout. You want somebody to give you something for nothing. Well, we the only people who do that to each other, man. And then we wonder why we are the way we are. Yeah. That individualistic mindset, man. It's disgusting. It's disturbing. Well, love your brother. Love your sister. Stop hating on each other, man.
Well, I put the challenge out. I'll say this because I'm glad that Joe brought this out. And I'll just say this for a lot of our people. With this story coming out as we begin to repost this and take it viral, I'll be interested to see how many immigrant groups that we stood in the gap for so many generations come out in support of us. How many of these other groups that we patronize in our communities that set up shop come out in support of Jasmine Barnes? I want to see it. I want to see how many of these different Latinos and Asian and Arabs come out in support of little Jasmine Barnes that was shot down. I want to see these immigrant groups. I want to see these immigrant groups come out and protest of black men being shot in the street, down in the street by police. I like to see it. I like to see all these groups that that our people support. All of these, the Democrats, the Republicans, and all these different groups. I want to see these groups come out in support of us. And then when we don't see it, then you'll understand why George is always so angry and why George go in and I get a lot of vitriol from my own people because I'm telling my people the truth. That's all.
We're exposed to HIV, hepatitis C, and hepatitis B. You're not going to see it, but we'll cape for other people all day and then have the audacity to come for each other in the middle of the cape. It's like, this has to stop. These are the sort of thing. It's crazy. We will unify over the dumbest things. Videos will get 10,000 views over ridiculousness.
Yep.
We need to go hard for stuff like this. We need to learn where to put our energy as a people. This is essential.
I agree. Listen, I support black people. Right or wrong, weak or strong, man. That's what I support. I'm cool with other groups. I'm cool. Listen, I'm cool with other groups, but I'm for my people. I don't always have to agree with my people, but I love my people. I love black people the same way that other groups love their own. And I know that we got a lot of dysfunction and we hurt, we cry, we do everything, but I'm black first, man. And I don't care if I get beat up by my own people for it. Hopefully, in my lifetime, people will see that I was as things begin to change. But this shit got to change, man. I want to see the protest outside of these things by other groups. If they say it should be for humanity, I want to see humanitarian effort from the world out there in support of the African Americans in this country with the historical things that has happened to us and it's still happening to us now with no news coverage. Nobody cares. Where's the political influence? I want to see it. If it's about humanity, or is it just us? That's what I want to see.
I'm not kidding. All those people protesting around the car because one immigrant who was here, one illegal who was here, was about to get picked up by ICE. Where are the hordes of people outside of these clinics, where thousands of people were exposed to HIV, Hep B, had dirty needles shoved up in them, had dirty, rusty utensils used on them for a year straight? And we're saying a year straight, but it could have been longer.
Absolutely. Most likely it was. That's just what they're reporting. You know, if it wasn't all of us on this panel was black people, if it wasn't for our ancestors fighting in the 50s and 60s, a lot of these immigrants wouldn't even be able to come here. That's facts. That's facts. So even if you don't like us, you got to honor the fact that my grandparents and my great grandparents made it possible for you to come here and even make a living. But then you come here and see the atrocities that happens to us within our dysfunction, and you don't support it, but we support you. Financially, politically, and everything. That's what I got a problem with. And I just want black people to see that. And so now when you talk that humanitarian shit, Miss George with that, man. I'd rather work with Joe before I work with Halito.
Yo, I'm so tired of every other community getting a bag off of black people, man. We don't even own the majority of businesses in our community. If we own some shit in our community, they would have never been able to set up a fucking shop like that in that black area to infect 4,000 black people, man.
No. I don't want y'all to misdirect it. I'm gonna get y'all correct. Let me correct y'all. I want y'all, because here's the thing about it. I get what you're saying, twin. I get what you're saying, because guess what? When they set up abortion clinics, they don't set it up in white communities. They put it in black communities. They drive their daughters down there to the black community, get their abortion. So I get what you're saying. You're right. Okay. All right. I'm gonna make sure. All right. Irene already knows how I feel about a lot of stuff. But I'm gonna tell y'all right now. First off, the thing about it, if blacks are truly smart, this would be more than ever. I'm gonna tell y'all how to start capitalizing, because we want to tell y'all how to get out of oppression. I want every lesson to be a lesson how to get out of oppression. If you truly are smart, blacks, this is the more I try to give us. These are chances for us to separate and segregate. This is time where, you know what, stop going to their clinics and you put your money into getting your own clinic.
Yeah.
You take your money
something
from
that Q Butter's talking about right now.
Right.
you take your money, you form a lawsuit and say, listen, because y'all endanger my life, we want our own clinic for black doctors, black nurses, black lawyers. We want it set up so that way we don't have to worry about it. I feel only safe with a black doctor touching my body. I feel safe with a black doctor, a black lawyer watching and mandating over my person if they've been wrongly done, and they can do an inspection over their body. See, this is where you properly need to have a focus. See, black people, I'm trying to teach y'all how to properly win cases, how to properly go in right.
I agree with that.
They will not. Who can refute you?
But there's one problem, Joe, and this is something that I've been speaking to for ages, and people like Dr. Amos Wilson and Dr. Claude Anderson been speaking about it. Our educated black people, our educated sector of black people, are fully integrated, but they're divided amongst each other. Those groups don't stick together to create the things that you're saying. We're so divided on so many, like we focus so much on the Pookies and Ray Rays, we don't focus on the educated blacks and how divided and dysfunctional they are. We like, you're 1000% right. I'm with you, but we don't move together economically and politically to get that thing. Because I see Pookie and Ray Ray ain't going to do that. That's going to come from the upper echelon blacks to create that, and it trickles down. George, I'm telling you, listen, man. I'm part of the 10%, and I'm trying to. I want to see. Listen, you'd be surprised whenever sometimes they say, Joe, why do you still be hiring niggas, man? Why do you hire niggas? Why not hire? We got some good Hispanic dudes over there by Bilo. You can hire them. Nah, man, that dude kid. If PJ get a job, we don't have to worry about PJ stealing. Absolutely, I agree with you.
Get PJ a job, PJ's not going to steal. Now, I'm trying to listen. This is a chance. This is why I said there. I want to make sure y'all niggas got no fucking excuse. But it's being so. You got a pretty black woman's channel where you have 4 intellectually intact black people talking. And I'm running and giving y'all 2019 game in January to get a jump start. I hope if you know anybody in New Jersey that has gone to that clinic, y'all said, listen, you're going to watch this video, mark the time. What's the time on this video, Irene? So that way these motherfuckers have no excuse. So that way, listen, y'all can literally hear us say this. I don't give a fuck if you don't fuck with me. I don't care. George just told you, who gives a fuck who's saying it, as long as somebody's saying it and that they're giving you the game. Listen. You go get a lawyer. You let them know that they publicly have already put you in harm's way. No fucking, if y'all go there and get a petition, you only need a petition of 300. Take your fucking money. Go get a doctor who is coming out of medical school. Put him on the books. Find somebody who's in retirement, who's a retired doctor. Put them on the books. Start a clinic, and you only go there.
No, I agree with what you're saying. What you're saying in theory is 1000% correct. The only critique that I would give you is the majority of the people within certain communities, the way that you're thinking, they don't have that thought process of how to put those things together.
They don't have no faith in blacks.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No, understand what I'm saying. Understand what I'm saying. It's a lot of people. People got faith in Jesus in our communities, but let me just put it in its proper context real quick, because what you're saying in theory is 1000% correct. What it is we still have to get some of our best people in
Somebody
position.
just said, instead of telling us what we should be doing, what are y'all doing, nigga? I just look.
Don't even pay him no mind.
You see what I'm saying? But see, Irene, if I would have just say fuck the black community and like it's crazy. I'm not. Let me just snap off really quick. You see, this is why niggas like some of y'all, whenever some black person who literally is in a position of authority is trying to give you the keys to gaining authority, and y'all motherfuckers like, well, why ain't you gonna do it? Well, nigga, if you do it for yourself, you don't have to listen to nobody. I don't get y'all niggas, man. Because when white people do this shit, they don't come to y'all for no answers.
But that's not even the point. The point is that we are sitting here talking about how a white person
right
had a facility, multiple facilities. We're talking about New York, New Jersey. There are other facilities throughout the country, but in New York and New Jersey, almost 4,000 people in almost the all-white area. But the clinic our people are going to, they're sticking dirty needles in these people with HIV, Hep B, and Hep C, and you want to attack him? That is very displaced. Like, your energy is displaced.
No, they said that comment rattled this nigga. No, the thing about it is the thought process of some of y'all. What are y'all doing about it? See, that's the shit about this is why some of y'all are never going to get out of Egypt. Because when somebody literally telling y'all stuff, and this is why some older blacks, I understand why sometimes they say I can tell the younger blacks how they can possibly not make my same mistakes. Listen, I get tired of having to send my kids to a doggone white clinic. I would love to send them to a black clinic.
Oh, okay. So he said, solving the race problem said, but you don't have any answers on how to start a clinic. You know what? Go to
what?
No, wait, stop. Go to
don't get turned up, Joe.
Go to Q Butter's channel. And he knows how to do it. See, people are doing the work. So you're running your mouth, but you're not listening to the people that are doing the work.
No, but
I've only been running the company for 6 years, but it's okay. Mind you, the dude who owns these 2 clinics that infected 4,000 people, he's not even in the fucking medical profession.
Exactly.
But he has 2 hospitals that infected 4,000 blacks. But see, I don't see nobody checking his ass and his credentials. But here you got a black man who literally is in business telling you to take your money and invest. Now, mind you, did I not say go find a retired black health doctor?
Sure did.
So what did that mean?
People just don't want to listen, Joe. They just want to run their
tell you also to go find a health student in medical school. So wait, I'm taking the old generation who is already vetted in it. And I'm taking a young brother who has to go find a practice to go into. Mind you, I am taking 2 people, one that is learning new medical practice, and the other one who knows the old medical practice, and I am bringing them together to unify the knowledge so that way nurses, CNAs can come together.
Hey,
one thing, mind you, just got to give them the place to work in.
Yep.
Before blacks didn't even have a fucking health clinic. They worked inside of a house because they didn't let your black asses in a house. See, some of y'all niggas don't fucking read. So we had to work inside of a home.
Joe, real quick, Joe, don't set it up. Let me put it in this proper context. And this is why I was saying what I was saying. See, me being raised by my dad and being raised around black nationalists, I understand this. This is the thing. Our people suffer from dysfunction and we're sick. We're not used to seeing any type of power. So we're conditioned to second guess each other. We're conditioned to look down on each other. The thing is this: we're going to desperately need some of our black excellence to begin to create and set up things in our community, because our people don't have a mindset of a lot of our people in these communities don't have a mindset of knowing how to do it. So this is why at the end of all my videos, I say I love my people more than they hate themselves, because I understand the conditions and the mindset of a lot of my people. So we got to get the black folks with the skill sets to begin to create and set up things. And I always tell black people, you don't have to live in the community to affect it. Like he just said, that man that owned that thing is not even a doctor. The black people with the skill sets, we got to create something for our people and then hire our people. And we got to reteach and retrain a lot of our people. A lot of our people, brother, have a mentality of being workers. They're not thinking the way that you're thinking. And this is why a lot of our people attack the so-called educated ones, because they can't see that far because of the way we've been trained and conditioned. So we got to redo our people all over again. But it's going to have to come with a lot of our elders and people with skill sets. It's kind of like we got to reprogram the whole community. That's the only way you're going to be able to fix it. And that's why I say I love my people, and I got to be patient, because I understand what I'm dealing with when I'm talking to black people. And that's just what it's going to take. You know what I mean? Every community, those ethnic groups, those people with the skill sets are the ones at the forefront of the community. And they hire their people and they train their people. You know what I mean? And that's just how it is. Our skill set people are going to be the ones with the know-how. Because if the people in the community had the know-how, a lot of things would be different. And that's just the way it's going to have to go, man.
Somebody asked, where do you get the money?
Hold on, Joe. Just to answer that person's original question that asked you, what are you doing? What are we doing? You know what Joe did? He brought this situation to light. This shit didn't even make news. That's what he did. He started there. He brought this situation out. I didn't even know about this. Nobody knew about this. George, did you know? Irene, did you know?
Not. Nope. No.
So that's what he did. He brought this situation to light.
And watch this, twin. And the brother
they want to fight me. I bet you that nigga can catch
this
motherfucking work. See, they want to fight me. But see, that's the thing about it. But then, like one brother said, Joe, you don't even try to really talk too much on the black community. Listen, but see, George will tell you that. You see, when the brothers like me who have the resources or have the knowledge, and then they say, "Why does the black community go without and lack?" It's situations like these.
Yeah.
When other people, when they hear my voice and I talk about this shit, it hurts because let me go tell this to a Latino boy or a white boy, anybody else. See, they don't talk. They just listen and they go do it. They put their faith in the wisdom and they say, I'm gonna go try it. I would love to see a black boy go do this. Mind you, I'm talking about how to bring job and circulation of currency black in the community, as well as health and safety. Ain't no niggas were trying to talk about this shit. They were trying to talk about pussy and how to get fucking goddamn out of the community. I'm trying to talk about how we got this issue right here.
Exactly, man.
Mind you, I didn't really get paid much goddamn money in my conservative channels for talking about this shit. Nikki would tell you, ain't no black people were putting me on to talk about this shit. I talked about this. I'm the one that brought it to Irene. I'm the one that did this shit. The nigga that you want to fucking fight.
Exactly. To the person in the chat talking about you want to fight this man for bringing this to light. Again, I thank you, my brother. I thank you for bringing this out. Right now, everybody talking about the shutdown and shit. Ain't nobody talking about these 4,000 people and possibly more walking around here infected because of the negligence of somebody who don't give a fuck about our community.
They worry about government shutdown, nigga. We ain't gonna have a community to shut down.
Exactly.
We all dead.
Let me just say this. Come on, Uncle Chug, man. I know you better than that, man. Like, come on, you don't have to be in the chat room trolling. Like the brother, this man, regard me and this man don't agree on a lot of stuff. But one thing I always say, this man is a black man from the black community with skill sets. He has a skill set that the black community needs. We're not gonna always agree, but I'm gonna tell you something. We're all starting to be forced to come together. We're being forced back together the way our grandparents was because of the things that's happening to us. We cannot continue to run away our black people with skill sets, regardless of whatever type of, like the brother just was honest and just told you. He just said he wasn't raised to be black first. He admitted that. He said it. But what's happening is America is forcing us to be black first. And he's telling you he wants to have black facilities. The man is sitting right here on the platform saying, I want the same thing black people want. So what I'm saying to black people is a lot of our black people with skill sets, like every other group, those ones with the skill sets are the ones that build the communities. We can't continue to run away our black people with skill sets, the ones that's going to teach you how to put businesses down on paper and get it built up. Because a lot of our people, like, we got ideas, but a lot of our people don't have the mindset or have never been taught how to get it done. So we gotta get out. And I know we conditioned to second guess each other and nigga what and the nigga whatever, but we got to get out of that trolling mindset. Like, we grown. Why we just can't be grown? Well, I'm saying you trolling, Shook, because why I gotta be negative comments when the brother's bringing information? Why we just can't be positive and be exuding love towards each other and saying, how can we get this done?
George, Twin, Irene, we went from talking about, first of all, the issue first. Then we went to dissecting it on how serious it is. Then we went to on the outbreak. Now we're in the step of how the black community can solve this problem. First, we're talking about one, taking it to the judicial level. For those of people who do not have the finances, that they can go find a lawyer. And if they can prove that if you can prove, and Irene, back me up on this one, if you can prove that you got served at that clinic, you can sue. Correct?
Exactly.
If you can prove you've been there within that year span and you've been around that stuff, and you got a letter, just like the people who sued Walmart, you can sue. Again, you only need 300 petitions. Now it comes to getting government funding. Now that's easy, because once they see, listen, nobody wants to take a hit for this type of shit. They will gladly cut you a check. Then I just talked about, we can go start hiring our own people. When you go, how many black people go to a Jewish clinic? None. They don't. Jewish school? None. When different minority ethnicities do shit for them, they don't include you. You're not included. I know. I built their buildings. I hung up their stuff, their art, their speakers for them to play their music and their shit. They don't include you. So here we're talking about, listen, we're telling you how to go get residual funds, how to go. Listen, we don't talk about we talk about we need to fight the system, but we're not training our people how to actually implement and get into the system and get what you need and get the fuck out. So that way, if you don't have to fuck with them, you don't have to deal with them. You know how hard it is for a black person to come out of medical school and go find a practice?
Facts.
So we're trying to talk about, first of all, securing somebody a job. This right here, again, we're trying to make excuses so that way, listen, this just happened. We blow this up to a state, to a nationwide level, because it's close to DC. Instead of y'all talking about trying to go to Trump to go get shit, say, "Oh, we just had a 4,000 HIV and hepatitis C outbreak. I need a check." We ain't gonna ignore this shit. If not that, just like y'all we got police problems, we got HIV problems now. We need a check. Give us a clinic, give us black doctors, give us black lawyers, give us black CNA and nurses and everything we need, all black. You pay them 10-year salary to work for us. They will cut you that fucking check. I'm not asking you, I'm telling you how I got my government checks. You need to stop asking. You need to start learning how to demand properly, how to move within your ranks.
I agree, and that's what I'm saying. You know what's crazy? Some of us, we got to start having like Google Hangouts off the air where we have these conversations and then begin to implement it in our cities.
I see, bro. We probably do need to have this type of talk. Is not made for everybody, man.
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you why though. It's just like in the hustle game. Like everybody, some people are just going to be workers. Everybody ain't thinking like bosses or going into politics and economics, and we can't expect all of our people to operate that way. Some like what's going to have to happen is, and I keep telling everybody, the economically astute and the educated ones are the ones that build communities and hire their people. And what's happening within the black community is we're refusing to do it, and then we're all suffering. We got to come together, like you said, and demand something and build something. And the majority of the people and the communities are going to follow the people that has the resources. And all economic and all ethnic groups, the 5% run the whole community, and every ethnic group, the 5% of the educated and economic ones, and they hire their people. So we keep thinking that all black people going to wake up. No, 80% of black people ain't going to be woke. They're going to be working for the black people that can hire them. And that's the mindset we got to get. Okay, my people's out of control, but you can't hate your people enough to the point where you don't want to deal with them. Asians don't do that. You know what they do? They reprogram and build their people up and give them jobs, and then they bring them into the culture. And if you don't act right, you're kicked out.
Yep,
that's what we got to do. That's what we got to do, because everybody ain't going to get it. I mean, you go into these other groups, man. White people ain't woke. White people work for white people, and they do what elite white people tell them to do. That's just the way it is. If we think that all black people gonna be woke, that ain't gonna happen. We just gotta hire our people and put them in the culture we want them to be in. That's all it is, man. So yeah, we just gotta have these type of conversations on Hangouts and begin to, because some of the things that you say, I like to hear it where I could try to hear it down here in Philadelphia. We have to be able to share information again and move it around because that's all. That's all. Because I hear what you're saying.
Listen, man. Listen. I'm gonna tell y'all the truest freedom you can have is where you don't have to fuck with anybody but your own. That is the truest freedom you will ever have. I'm not sure how many people are gonna make it to that promised land in 2019. But I'm damn sure every goddamn breaking breath I get, every episode I get, I'm trying to put black people on. See, we're trying to turn this from just a black type of fucked up situation to a doggone situation of we can make money out of this. It's bad, but let's turn this into our blessing. Let's not let the people who did get infected, let's not let their life go in vain.
That's right.
Now, maybe I'm crazy because I think like that. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, Uncle Suge. If you want to be on here, let me know. You can take my spot and I can go do my shit. I gotta do my shit at 9 o'clock. Me and my pack will go. But I promise you, you ain't well studied as I am talking about this situation.
I mean, do you even know him though?
I don't know this motherfucker.
I don't know you, Uncle Suge. That's why I'm just not letting you on. I don't have any idea who you are.
See,
I know who he is.
Every black can't get the fucking mic. Every black can't get the mic. Sometimes we got a lot to sit in the congregation and just listen.
Oh, you know him, Joe?
Yeah, I know who he is. But
he damn said, "Fuck you, George." I'm like, damn, what kind of brother is that?
I know, but that's why I said I don't even know. I don't even know why you even taking that stance when we got a positive vibe over here, and you bring a negative energy. What?
We're talking about inclusion. We talking about building. We're not talking about black fuckery that just people put out here for views, man. This is a very serious topic. That's what I'm saying. Like George, don't even go in, and Irene, don't even go in on the chat. Ignore the chat. This subject, this topic is too important to worry about the naysayers right now.
Right.
What we do as a community, and what we need to stop doing is when some important shit is going on, we look at some shiny shit and get distracted. No, fuck the chat right now. 4,000 of our people just got infected on some bullshit. Joe's putting out some good information, and people in the chat want to hate. That's dumb. That's why we behind. Where's the code? Where's the love? Where's the foresight to look forward?
But that's why we got to have this stuff in private and then bring it out to the people. And the people have to follow. That's all. It's cool, though.
The thing about it is this, and I get why, George, time and time again, me and people like Nikki and different other people who are around other blacks who do have finances, we know the knowledge. I don't want to die taking this knowledge with me and passing it on not to my people. I don't want to die. You know who the first person I saw talking about? It was a white man talking in a white conservative group. I just happened to be there for that. And I'm like, white, whoa. I know people in New Jersey. Why don't black people know about this? So I went and ran with it. I checked all of black YouTube. You already know we ain't that big. So we pretty much all know each other, whether we like each other or not. And I'm like, look, nobody's talking about this. When I told Irene, she was just waking up. She's like, wait, I didn't hear about this. I said, Irene, will you please talk about this? Even if I'm not on the show, will you please talk about it? She said, no, Joe, I want you to be there for this. This is serious. I'm glad you're here, George. And you and me, we have not always got along, but we understand that, at some point, brother, we got to put down the spears and we got to pick up the shovel and the goddamn rake, and we got to start working the field.
Absolutely, because I'm another brother with skill sets that I don't bring everything to YouTube, but I live amongst the talented group too. Now, and I do well, but and this is why I speak the way that I speak. I'm just because I grew up in a black nationalist home, regardless of whatever resources that I've acquired. I try to give it back to my people because I'm looking at all the other groups, and when I'm in certain circles with other ethnic groups, I see how the talented and the groups with the economics, they're the ones that build the communities. They're the ones that push politics within their communities. So we got to be the ones to do it because a lot of our people I'm trying to tell you, a lot of these immigrant groups that came here didn't come here with a bunch of money. They came here and built, the best of them came to America and they built communities, and then they brought the rest of the people over. And the best of us got to redo the community again. And once you have the ability, the power to hire and fire people, that's when you can control the culture in the way that you want to do it. And that's the only way we're going to be able to do it. And that's where we'll stop disrespecting each other and be able to hold each other accountable. That's the only way we're going to be able to do it. It's getting the position to be able to hire and fire our own people. Until that, we're not going to ever be subordinate to each other.
Now, some of us are too comfortable, George, though. Some of us are too comfortable.
They are twin. They are twin. They are twin. They are twin. Listen, I thought I had plenty of knowledge, but see, the thing about it is, sometimes I wanted to correct my elders, but I had to learn to shut up and listen.
Yep.
Sometimes I had the answers, but I still needed to shut up and listen to them. You may not always agree, but sometimes you got to listen. I don't always agree with everything Irene listen, Irene will tell, I will argue with her. we were arguing just before we even started the show. But guess what? We put aside the emotions and actually put on the professionalism and said we need to get out the truth. See, the thing about it as blacks, we need to learn how to separate from that damn nigga side and put on that black side, put on that professional side. See, they always look for you to be that nigga, that sample, that clown. I'm telling you. They'll quickly take you to be an entertainer before you be a doctor.
Right.
They'll quickly take you to go bounce a basketball, but they won't take you to go balance a goddamn bank account for the goddamn federal government. See, they won't take you for those kind of jobs. Not quickly. Right. You gotta jump some damn hoops. But see, I'm trying to tell y'all, even for those of y'all who are not in that position of power, listen, if they fuck with you, if they fuck with your family, if they fuck with you or anything that you affiliated with, get their fucking paychecks.
Damn right.
You want to get ready for war? I'm trying to tell you as a soldier how to get your fucking war on. Everybody ain't going to be no soldier. If you want to be the goddamn casualty, stand your ass to the side and let the real soldiers fight. But I don't want to hear shit when you bitching about a white man putting a fucking needle in your arm and you fucking jerking around, drooling on the fucking floor. I don't want to hear shit. Let this stand for the record. BMT told you how to get your fucking money up.
Well, I'll say this. I'm in my 40s, and I know I lived in an era where we didn't have this social media. 20 years ago, none of this shit existed. We live in an era now where we can be everywhere at the same time. We can share information now. In the 90s, you know, if whatever information the brother had in Chicago, and I'm in Philly, we couldn't really get that information out there like that. We can do it now, and we can do it off the air. We can share screens. We can show brothers how to do it, and then we can come back in 30 days and say where we at, what's our progression. We got the ability to do all of this now. Ain't no white man holding us back from doing this. This is on us now to do it. So we have the ability to teach brothers how to do certain things right from our living rooms. And check the progressions over a year's time as to where we're going. We can actually do that now. So that's why I do my African American Inventors series, where I show what we come from and what our people was actually doing 40, 50 years ago. All the stuff that we complain about now, man, our grandparents and great-grandparents, man, we invented so much stuff and brought so much stuff to the table, but because we got so much self-hate, because we don't realize the things that we actually bring. When brothers and sisters come with skill sets, we don't actually think that we can achieve these things. But we got the ability, like I said, to be off air and to be building right. I mean, literally right across the country from each other, just showing brothers how to do it. We can do live streams and go into different places. Like literally, BMT can go offline and come online with me and show me how to go put some paperwork in. I can go down to the city hall, put the paperwork in. We can go live next week and say, okay, what was the outcome of it? Now do this. We got the ability to literally do that shit. But how many of us is really doing it? That's the stuff that we got to question.
Because George, you got to remember, George, because you got to remember now, it's not about building. It's about who can go viral. It's about who can sit here and say the most outrageous shit for views. We don't, first things first, what we got to correct, everything y'all saying is 100% true. We got to fix this fact that we don't have love for our own people. The moment, like Joe, what you are doing in your individual life, man, I commend that. Congratulations. How many brothers is going to do that? Instead of doing that, we tear each other down. We pocket watch each other instead of trying to build each other up. We need to stop doing that as a people, man. I love every last person on this panel and in the chat, because at the end of the day, we don't have no friends. Hashtag George Macon. We don't have no friends, man. It's us first and foremost, because at the end of the day, we only have each other. Let's stop the hate, man. Let's get this shit right. I want to see a litany of black clinics across the country, because this shit needs to stop.
Yeah, I'm about to get out of here. What you about to say, Joe? Because I'm about to get out of here.
I just, like I said, man. We've already.
We got upstairs with my boys, man.
Like I said, I didn't mean to get.
I know we all have families. We're all gonna leave y'all.
And listen, I got to go do a talk later on about the doggone McDonald's case.
Yeah,
I got to go do a talk about that.
Yeah, I
again. I don't say the things that everybody want to hear, and I know I got to be that bad guy. But I'm saying one thing about it that I can probably say on BMT and all the brothers who fuck with me. Listen, I'm that very few black Republican conservative that was talking about the brother who was shot in Chicago, who was an armed security. Ain't a lot of black conservatives talking about that shit. I was a very few black brother who was talking about the brother who was a veteran who was shot in Louisiana when he bought a firearm and they were aiming at his doggone cousin and his friend. Mind you, the police changed the story up on him twice, but I was the black brother that took a hit for that one. Y'all niggas don't fucking pay me. When I talk about that shit, white people say, why'd you just say that, Joe? Come on, man. Listen, I like donating to you, but you don't need to be saying that stuff. I said, I got to say this stuff. But at the end of the day, when I lay my head down, I got to sleep with this shit. I got to know that I did the right thing.
Welcome to loving black people, Joe.
No, and listen, man, I could easily be up there saying the same shit like some of my black constituents who are doggone, who don't have to live in the community. I don't. I don't live in the community. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't.
That's the ancestors inside you speaking to you, Joe, from the inside.
It is, but see, the thing about it is, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, but some of us who are black, who do not live in the community, it is a self-sacrificing journey to go back and help your fellow black man, because you understand that they're going to beat you, they're going to kick you, they're going to drag your name in the fucking dirt. Yeah. And at the end of the day, when you get home and you whopping out the blood and your woman looks at you and said, was it worth it? You got to find some type of courage to say, yes, it was.
Well, I remember I told you at the end of all my things, I say I love my people more than they hate themselves.
And I be looking at sometimes, George, I be looking at you crazy as fuck. Like, why?
And the reason why I said, and you know why I said, George? I mean, you know why I said, Joe? Because one thing that none of us can deny, the people before me and the people before them fought like dogs and died and had water hoses sprayed on them just so we can have the abilities to have this conversation today. Absolutely. They put in the work yesterday, so today I can do it. So I don't just do this for my own thing. I do this for my grandfather. I do this for my grandmother. I do this for the tears that was shed for the people that was before me, because I'm grateful like every other culture is. Most when you look at these other ethnic groups, they're very cultured. And I know that our culture has been destroyed. So when I get beat down or get called a simp, that's fine, because I ain't doing it for you. I'm doing this for my grandfather. My grandfather fought so I can have the ability to do this. So once we understand that, we'll understand that, okay, I'm getting beat up today, but I'm planting a seed for 20 years from now. My children won't inherit the same dysfunction. That's the mindset that you got to have, brother. I'm doing this now so my children won't have it.
I'm just saying, man, listen, you brothers, I speak for black men that we need to take authority and we need to be in the household. I never changed from that. Me and Irene talk about that on our one-on-one talk about positivity in black men, homes, and positivity in schools and different shit. But see, a lot of y'all, it's 2019. There's zero room for error and doggone. Listen, if y'all looking for that white man, blue-eyed, goddamn baby in the sky to come down to save y'all black asses, that nigga done left a long time ago. If y'all waiting for that doggone, if y'all waiting for a black man to get in the office again and try to help y'all niggas, y'all better understand, man. Ain't nobody coming. Ain't no blue-eyed, blonde-haired white man in the sky coming to save you. Ain't no goddamn pyramid from across the seas. Listen, niggas, y'all better understand. They already told you, ain't no friend for the black. Ain't no goddamn motherfucking friend for the black man. I done traveled this world 3 times. We all we got.
That's right.
We all we got.
I got to get your email, Joe, because I want to talk to you off the air, though. I want to have a conversation.
That's fine. That's fine, brother. But see, when y'all get to that mindset, when y'all finally get to that mindset, when you get tired of laying on that goddamn bed and you look to the left and right of you and you say, yo, man, I can't be the only nigga that thinks like this shit.
Right.
And then when you start asking, like I'm saying, I trust me, listen, y'all didn't even like it when me and Irene were talking about goddamn trans acting like women. Y'all didn't even like Irene to me. We were talking about this. That's why me and Irene can't really cut up the way we do. What we have talk about offline, y'all motherfuckers would be turning your head to.
No, trust me. The conversations I have with people offline, we can't even bring. I get it.
Trust me. That's why.
But it's necessary,
I'm not even mad at George when George said, "Joe." I see now some of these conversations that if y'all knew what some of us really be thinking off of fucking YouTube, how we really talk. I see why David Carroll literally just says, "Listen, just email me. I will send you what I actually really think." Because some of y'all motherfuckers really don't want to really fuck with us. Y'all gotta understand, man. when we try to give you information, we don't really get paid by motherfucking YouTube.
Right.
If we really want to shuck, jive, and suck white man dick to get y'all fucking approval, I promise y'all will be surprised at the damn buffoonery. Those are the motherfuckers that get all the fucking likes and 1 million views. But see, the brothers and sisters who actually go to war and actually try to go to bat for black community, y'all motherfuckers don't give a fuck about us. We can tell you how to get a business, how to get a goddamn clinic, how to get your home, how to get a damn sanctioned goddamn house, how to get a goddamn degree. Y'all say, fuck you, nigga. I don't want to hear that shit. Tell me how to live, breathe, and die. Fuck, get goddamn pig shit.
Because that's what we've been conditioned. That's what we've been conditioned to do, and that's all I'm saying. I'm gonna get out of here after this. I'm gonna get my email to you.
Yeah,
we gotta remember.
I got me drinking already, man.
We got. It's Friday night, brother. Do you?
Yeah, we gotta remember that.
Friday, I'm gonna cut up on my damn show. So
you gotta remember that it's not about those what those people want. We got to give them what they need, and our people got to get what they need. It's not about what they want because our people are conditioned to want destruction. So we can't really be too much concerned what they want. They got to get what they need, so that way we can begin to program our people into learning how to love. And that's just where it's going to have to come. It's going to have to come with the skill set. So what I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you, Irene, for having me on. I'm gonna get my email to you because I actually want to have a conversation with you off air.
No doubt, man.
Always
no
good
doubt.
to talk to you, George. Always good to talk to you, bro.
All right.
Yo, Joe, I respect black conservatives like you because at the end of the day, bro, like you said, man, you black. You could be out here shucking and jiving, trying to get a bag, but you out here, you gonna be the bad guy. You gonna try to put out that good information. I respect that, brother. I don't say that to a lot of black conservatives because you know there's some on that side, man, that's they take it way too far.
I know.
I respect a black conservative like you, though. You hold true to your principles, but at the end of the day, you still understand that you are a black man in America. We have no friends. And at the end of the day, if some shit pop off, the only thing they see you as is a black man.
Listen, bro, I was one of the very few that I lost 1,000 subscribers when I talked about that white woman that went inside that black man's apartment in Texas and shot him. And I asked a few of them on one of my brother's networks, why did y'all not talk about this shit? They said, well, we didn't hear it. Yes, you did. You heard it just like me. We all heard about it. You chose to turn away while your brother was strung up on a tree and getting his flesh torn from his back. I will not turn my eyes. I will not pretend to be blind and dumb when y'all were fine with Roseanne calling another minority woman a monkey.
Exactly.
I will not turn my eyes when I hear people say, black people, what do you have to lose? You see, when you get told and you mentally indoctrinate yourself, and mind you, LeBron even told on that, he said, listen, in the black community, they indoctrinated him to think that he was lesser than white people in his own community. You can look it up on the HBO special. I talked about it. He told that. They told me that in my own community that I wasn't as good as white people. So I understand that we got some doggone spies and some goddamn people that will tell you to keep your head looking at the ground and stay a goddamn slave.
Right.
And I promise you, niggas, I will take that fucking rock in the ground and I will bash your skull in first before I accept being a goddamn slave. They're going to have to work to get me.
Damn right. Me too, bro. We didn't even start from the bottom, Joe. We started in the bedrock, bro.
Yeah, listen, y'all. I'm trying to let some of y'all know. Y'all, listen. I do apologize, Irene. I do apologize. It's the Geechee and me talking right now. It's the liquor. It's speaking on my tongue. But I promise you, I will bash y'all fucking skull before I ever accept some goddamn subservient fucking role in this goddamn way of life. I know every black man and woman that wants to get up and earn their own and fight, you can join me in the goddamn sand pit. Other than that, you other motherfuckers stay the fuck out of my way. I don't fuck with y'all. I do apologize, Irene. Let me go ahead and drink.
Irene, always a pleasure.
Yeah,
Joe, this is my first time being on the panel with you, bro. I have heard some of your content. Like, honestly, you go on both sides of that shit. But again, I can respect that because you gonna call out fuckery on all sides. I can respect the man that's gonna do that. So yo, keep pushing out that knowledge. Don't let the haters come at you. Don't let anybody sit here and try to stop you. Like you said, man, we got too much to lose. We have no friends, and honestly, they want our destruction and death. And I'll be damned if I'd rather die on my feet than beg on my knees, bruh. I feel you. I feel you. But y'all have a good night. I'm gonna go watch this movie with my sons.
Okay.
Right on. Yeah, I just wanted to point out to the chat too that today all the people here have Black families, and a lot of people think Black families are dead, and they are not dead. They're alive and they are kicking. And so I'm really glad today that everybody on the panel represented Black family, because sometimes we talk as if we don't do this anymore, and we do this. And it might be those of us who have families who are the most passionate about the community, because we have an investment, because we have children that have to grow up and be in this community. And so we want to see it better, obviously for us now, but also for others. In the chat, I put, for those of you who want to support Black education, I put Q Butters Institute. In the chat, I put the information for the McDonald's that woman was assaulted in, as well as the corporate number. If you're in the city, go protest, call, push back against her being fired.
They just gave her they just gave her back her job.
Yeah, well, we want more than that, right?
Yeah, I would rather her be a manager, really.
Yeah,
I'd rather her be a manager.
more than that. She needs her pockets like things they should have never. She should not have had trauma on top of trauma, whether they fix that or not. But keep pushing. Do you know what I mean? We have to push back against these things. We need to be looking for the face and the name of the person that owns the facility where they were sticking filthy needles into our people and exposing them to HIV, Hep B, and Hep C. We need to be pushing for that clinic to be shut down. For those of you who have channels, I know a lot of you guys are content creators in the chat. Like, that's content you need to create. Let's make this go viral. Let's make it so that they think twice before they play. Because mind you, we're talking about New Jersey and New York, but this is going on throughout the country. We don't know the scope. We don't know the depth, but we know if it can happen here to that degree, you know, filthy conditions, unsterile needles, rusted equipment. We know if it can happen, if it can happen in one place, it can happen in others. And so we need to make it clear that these things won't go under the radar in our community.
Mind you, HIV doesn't always show itself.
Yes, that's so true. You could test negative and still be infected. And also, I want to say that yesterday, Joe brought up something very important, and I just want to reiterate that to you guys, which is that you can go and attempt to go for lower level elected offices in your communities. That's something he brought up yesterday, and I just want to stress that again today, to get your foot in the door so that you can get higher level. Because a lot of times there's only one person that's going out. A lot of times those positions go uncontested because there's only one candidate or no candidates. So if you're in a smaller township, city, things like that, those are things that you can do. Joe brought up good information here. Q Butter talks about opening up clinics all the time and the minimal amount of money that costs. Joe brought up going to people who are in the field and recruiting them. We don't need to put too much money behind this. These are all things that we can do. We can all call McDonald's. We can all go online and then give, if we have, you know, platforms, expose the people that own these clinics.
Facts.
We can all do a YouTube video, do a post on our Facebook or Twitter, or whatever it is you do. You know what I mean? And talk about these issues. These are all things that we can do. So I really want to leave you guys with encouragement to focus on what you can do and what you can achieve. And collectively, if we're doing that, we'll push back. And then Joe is going live later about the lady at McDonald's. I did something on my Patreon. I feel like a lot of stuff I said about that I can't be saying on YouTube. But Joe is going live in about a half an hour on his channel regarding this chick at McDonald's. And if Black men are responsible for protecting Black women. And he has some interesting thoughts on that. So you guys can check that out. Joe, anything you want to say before we go?
I just want y'all to know, man. I know I come off as the rough, you know, the rough Geechee Gullah, you know, jawline. And actually, for some of y'all, some of y'all ignorant motherfuckers, my mouth structure and my jaw structure, that is actually the trademark of most Geechee and Gullah. You don't have to believe me. You can ask Irene. Shit, I really don't give a fuck. We reproduce at a high rate with up to 6 children, 4 to 6 children. That's usually actually we do more. Most of our teeth are like this. Most of our mouth is like this. That's actually that's how we know we're definitely African. We are more connected to slaves. And then honestly, they would have fucking goddamn do a goddamn damn recession. We would be the first ones out of the top 12 families that are still alive that are part of the recession. Our name is on the goddamn list, and we own our property and our land. So everything I try to tell black people, mind you, Geechee and Gullah people do not really like black people because black people have betrayed us and almost killed off my people. But yet Irene still tries, and I try. And I'm not making up anything. Irene knows I'm not lying. I want to help black people. Black people came in when we owned our property and were told by white people to come on our island and rape and kill our men and women. And we killed all of them niggas. There's a dark history to it. So I want you to understand this, that when I say I'm very straight and direct, I speak predominantly to black men. I'm very focused on talking to black men because I want you to understand your authority and your power that you have. You step in your line of authority and power, black women will get behind you. And black women will see that, listen, I can get behind this black man and I will push for him. I don't always make sense to people. I have a radical mindset. I love my cousin. I love her all my heart and soul. And I sometimes worry about her, but she loves y'all too goddamn much. And she will literally try to help a lot of y'all, and literally I see more black people attack her. But I will support her still, and she supports me. Again, you can also come to my channel, BMT, Black Male Talk. Also, we have BMT2 Unfiltered, and also we have doggone we also have Black Men's Congregation run by me and MOT as well. Also, we have the only Facebook group that is only black men only, that is called Black Men's Congregation, where black men can come in there and talk with different black male YouTubers, as well as share business advice, strategy, and different other self-improvement and self-esteem things to better themselves on Facebook in Black Men's Congregation.
All right, and now that Joe from Black Male Talk has cut up on my channel, he's about to go over to his channel and cut up some more. So with that said, wait, BB, what'd you say? So Geechee Gullah people are African descent, right? They just are a maroon society. Yeah, I mean, we're the descendants of slaves like everybody else, but we do have a unique history that runs parallel to the overall history of the country. That's true. We could do a whole live on that sometime. So yeah, that's what's up. If you guys want, do go over to Joe's channel. They're going to be talking about over there in about a half an hour regarding the chick at McDonald's. I want to thank you guys all for participating in this live. Again, please spread the word about this clinic, these clinics in New York and New Jersey, as well as the others throughout the country. Please, let's do the footwork. I will be too looking for the name and the faces of the individuals that own these clinics. We need to know who the enemies are. Also, if you're in the area, be sure to protest the clinic. We should really be pushing to see that clinic shut down. Be contacting McDonald's on behalf of that young girl. Them giving her job back is not sufficient. That is not sufficient. They need to do more. In addition to that, be sure if you want to support educating Black youth, be sure to go ahead and go to Q Butters Institute. If you look at my comment section, I have pinned a comment that has that information there. Also, some place that I'm really messing up is I should be giving a shout out to Change of Heart. Change of Heart, I'm so sorry. I have to go back and change several videos. Shout out to Change of Heart, one of my patrons, for helping to support this video and my other content. And with that said, I love you all. And I will talk to you guys later.